So one of the things that has been coming up in the current atmosphere of my conversations with the Lord has been about expecting His goodness and remembering to hope. And I felt like it's something I would love to share because it's been such a beautiful lesson. While growing up, we tend to lean on and trust completely the words of our caregivers, especially our parents. But as the sufferings of the world abound, more and more disappointment becomes a language that we understand and that we speak. And the Lord has just been highlighting why some people just get stuck, or I also get stuck in those cycles. And usually it stems from a lack of understanding of His character. So you see, He showed me how when you do not understand His character, you would not be able to surrender to Him. And this would lead easily to a lack of vision of what is going on and a lack of perspective about how to see Him in the situation that you are currently facing. And ultimately, this would entirely soil your actions. And if this cycle keeps perpetuating and your belief is tainted, which is almost inevitable in most cases, you find that you are unable to process the things that you are going through the light of the presence of the Lord in every situation. You forget how to see His goodness and His faithfulness. Very soon, you find yourself in this twisted, warped, jaded reality, which is unreal, but you have accepted. And oh, how sad the Lord gets when we are in this place. He feels like He has created such a beautiful reality for us in Christ, but due to our ignorance and fear and the weight of the suffering that we might not have learned how to handle to Him, we are afraid to let Him take us into a higher reality. And all we have to do in this moment is to learn to lean into honesty, to be open to the Lord about what we're going through, and to let Him in. And you would see, because it is a trusted thing, that He would show up by mercy. He would come, whether it is a gradual release of His presence or a sudden flood. He would come to remind you of how good He is and how good things can be. And then, most importantly, He would teach you how the answer is not what you think it should be, but that the answer is Jesus Himself in every situation that you go through. He would teach you to see rightly. With all these experiences, you begin to live a freer, unjaded, beautiful reality, which is that which He has crafted for you from the beginning of time. The most important thing that He highlighted to me about why He really wants us to expect His goodness is, He said to me that when you begin to say yes to me and respond to me with your hope, I begin to build systems and structures in you that are able to detect, categorize, process, respond, and transmit goodness. And when I have set up these structures, they will become pipelines through which you engage with me on a deeper level, through a better lens, with a greater intelligence, and for longer durations of time. And in this place, with every new instance that comes up, there is a newness with which you meet Him, with the history that you have built with Him in the past. And oh my, that was such a beautiful thing. The example that He gave me to really drive this idea home is that of the 10 virgins. And they're categorized in the Bible into the foolish and the wise virgins. But how I pictured it in my spirit's eye was the group of those who had built history with the Lord and set up structures in the place of fellowship with Him, expecting His goodness and digesting it and letting it ground them, and the others that did not. And so we see that this group of wise virgins had extra oil that helped them tarry for longer in wait of their bridegroom king. And we see that the wise virgins did not share their oil with the foolish ones, which usually I would have categorized as selfishness. But in the context of the conversation that I was having with the Lord, I began to see clarity on that matter. You see, oil is something that is expressed in fellowship. It is personal and it is marked with your fragrance. You can't actually pour it out for someone else. Someone else can ignite their fire with yours, but not necessarily take it to keep their fire burning. It doesn't work that way. So the foolish virgins would have known better if they had built history with him and learned to engage him from the place of previous goodness that he had done to them, creating an ecosystem that would let you process his goodness rightly so you know how to participate with it next time better and even for an entire generation. Abraham participated with the Lord's goodness for entire generations. You and I are examples of that. I just want to encourage your heart and remind you to be your Lord's baby again. Be his child. Be open, be honest in communication of where you are. Open your heart and be childlike. Expect his goodness because he will come. He will come for you like a raging lion. That's how madly in love he is with you. He will fight for you. And things would look up again. Continue to hope. Continue to expect goodness. I love you guys. Until next time. Bye.